Hey everybody, welcome to Robbie Rants Live, or Rockin Robbie Live, I should say. How is everybody doing? I hope you're getting it. Let me know. Make sure you got a good clear visual, good clear audio, all that stuff. I am so happy to be here for Rockin Robbie Live, a nice fun live stream here on Sunday nights where we can chat about comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. How is everybody doing? Right now I got the Yankees game going on. They're playing the Dodgers over in LA. Super exciting. We have split the series so far. The Yankees are up right now 2-1. So if anybody wants to join in, go over to ESPN and you can watch the Yankees and the Dodgers with me. A historic game that may have possible postseason. It might be like a possible preview of the postseason, I should say. I have been clamoring for a Yankees-Dodgers World Series for a long time. How is everybody doing? We got some people in the room. This is the first time I got to tell you, because I'm sure y'all have already, please do hit that thumbs up, that like button, and share the live stream. But I do want to appreciate everybody for their support. If you want to support us further, patreon.com/PCP, over on Twitter at The Rockin Robbie, over at PCP Army on the Facebook, and tons of other ways you can support us aside from just watching the channels. Thank you so much for joining us. What's up, S Squared? How are y'all doing? What's up, Jesse? What's up, Adam? What's up, Eddie? What's up, Joe? What's up, Reggie? How are you doing? How are things in Chi-Town? Yes, the Impossible Whopper is good. I've had it quite a few times. Before that, I did get to try the Impossible Burger at a few different restaurants. I like it. I like it a lot. I sometimes at home will make the Beyond Burger because I can get that at my local Whole Foods. But the Impossible Whopper was pretty good. I liked it. You know, I already liked Burger King because they do offer the veggie burger. And it's okay. It's all right. I will tell you this, though. When you go to Burger King, if you're like me and you do not like ketchup on your burger and you prefer mustard like I do, make sure to tell them no ketchup, but do not get them to put mustard on it because at least at my Burger King, they put like 2 cups of mustard on the burger. Looks like Brett Gardner just robbed someone of an extra base hit. Very exciting. So, how is everybody doing tonight? We're going to be talking about this upcoming week's new comic books. We'll be chatting about whatever y'all want. What's up, Dodora? What's up, John? How is everybody doing? Has anybody else tried that Impossible Whopper? What do you think about it? Because I like it. I like it a lot. Excuse me. How is everybody doing once again? So, we start off, before we get into everything, I'm going to ask you, what was your pick of the week last week? What was your favorite comic book of last week? Mine was Strayed #1, and I'm also curious if you picked up Strayed #1, especially if it was based on my recommendation. What did you think of the comic book? I absolutely loved it. I love Wando's artwork. He just killed it on this new comic book, this last new comic book day. He did Bad Reception, which he wrote and illustrated, and then, of course, he illustrated Strayed. Fantastic stuff. Rodeo Burgers for Life. That's the one with barbecue sauce, right? An onion ring or something. What's up, HB? You got hail in South Texas. Wow. There are some storms right now, some rain, some weather that's approaching. If it does start approaching, we're going to have to maybe cut this just a little bit short tonight. I'm here, and the dog, I would say puppy, but she's not a puppy. She's an experienced veteran of doghood. But Hera gets a little bit anxious during storms. So if it starts happening, I'm going to have to deuce out, but we're going to try to get into what we can as we go. I know that several miles away, over in the Shoals, I know they dealt with some flooding today. But I'm great, Hamburger Basket. How are you doing? All right, Adam says, let's be honest, I'm a DC Comics guy. Disney Plus is going to blast DC Comics out the water. Well, Disney Plus is definitely going to be blasting the DC Universe app out of the water. The only difference is that right now, the DC Universe app has so many digital comics. They're like their entire digital library is available with the subscription. And that's really, really cool. I would love it to see if Disney Plus would do some kind of Marvel bundle somewhere in the future where they will put Unlimited in for a little bit. But right now, Disney Plus, with all the content that they're offering and the price and the bundle with Hulu and ESPN Plus, they're definitely gonna overtake Netflix right there. I think absolutely. They're going to have a lot of content to start off with. They're going to have the original Marvel stuff. They're going to have the original Disney stuff. They're going to have the new Star Wars stuff. Come on. Come on. Adam Murray says his favorite comic book of last week was Teen Titans S Squared. Sayokio says Middle West number 10. That was my number 2. I absolutely love that issue. It was my favorite issue of the series yet. Middle West is such a great book. Scotty Young's best work right now, to me. Got a couple people that checked out Strayed but haven't read it yet, picked it up. Joe says his pick of the weeks were Fearless number 2. Had a cool backup night nurse story showing her kick some butt. Hickman's X-Men. Hickman's X-Men run just continues to delight, does it not? Absolutely. I love it so much. Every issue is absolutely amazing, and I'm loving it. Loving it. Sanchez up to bat. Top of the 4th. Let's see what happens. Matt says Middle West was his favorite comic book. Middle West was great. I love that book so much, and like I said, that I think that was the first. I think that was the best issue of that series so far. What's up, Flickin' Stuff? How are you doing? Well, we just started, so that's cool. Reggie says, love Strayed. Bad reception was okay. Picks of the week were Valkyrie, Powers of 10, and Blade Runner number 2. Now, I didn't read Blade Runner. I wasn't that into the first issue, so I definitely might trade weight that one because I do love Blade Runner. I love Philip K. Dick's original story. That's one of my favorite movies, so I'm interested in it. I am interested in it. But you loved Strayed, so did I. Bad reception was okay. I'm right there, kind of right there with you. I liked Bad Reception. I like that it was experimental, that it was a little bit different. I like the way that Wando decided to tell the story. This is his first published work as a writer, I believe, and it did lean very heavy on exposition and dialogue. It showed you some stuff with some really, really, really cool layouts and composition. I love the double-page spread, the way that he told the story. However, just the dialogue itself felt a little clunky, at least for me. Strayed was amazing, though. I loved that book. I don't think Disney Plus is going to have too many commercials in it. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about whether or not there are commercials on it. Now, I know that it's kind of a low-cost service compared to some of the others. So maybe there will be a different tier where you don't have advertisements. But what does Disney want? Like, what are they going to advertise? They're Disney. What are they going to advertise? Themselves. You know what I'm saying? It might be like Amazon Prime or something where you get like one commercial at the beginning of something. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, S Squared, Reggie, I'm loving Valkyrie as well. I think it's been so much fun. Issue 2 and Issue 1, but especially Issue 1 and into Issue number 2, it really reminded me a lot of some of my favorite Marvel comics, and I loved it. What's up, Dylan? How are you doing? Reggie says, don't sleep on Vampirilla. Vampirilla's not typically my bag, but it is written by Christopher Priest right now. Flicking Stuff says, Category 0 was cool. I'm buying up the whole series. Me too. I'm really liking it. Adem is doing a great job with that book, and where he started, the story and the world has developed so much more fully and so much further than I thought it was ever going to go. So it's very, very exciting. I'm very excited for him. I'm liking it so much. Yeah, I like the Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool, and I'm not really a Deadpool fan whatsoever, so I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, no problem, Logan. Thank you for the kind review about the store. We really do appreciate that. And if you ever want to leave a kind review about my comic shop and mention me by name, that's awesome. But I'm glad you got them. Anything involving our furry overlords, yeah, Strayed was dope. And yeah, they are our furry overlords. Overlords. That's right, Dodora. Everybody hit the like button. Show your support for the channel and the stream. Jonathan, I'm right there with you. Jimmy Olsen is super fun. I'm loving it. Loving it. Loving it. Loving it. It's a great, interesting structure. It's funny. It's got a tinge of seriousness about it. It's got some new lore, some new twists, some new ideas. I really, really like it. I think Matt Fraction's doing a great job with it. Can we get 21 likes? Are there 21 people in here right now? For some reason, I can't see that anymore. Adam says, man, I got into comics in 2010, and I feel comics now are really the best I have ever read since I started reading. I can kind of get that, absolutely. I would say that the industry right now, at this moment in time, is stronger than it was in 2010. But I think it was decently. There's always good books, there's always weak books, but right now it's not only like good mainstream, it's really impressive as far as the indie scene goes. Like, so this is like a new indie renaissance. We haven't had indie books with this level of quality hit this hard since like the indies renaissance in the 90s, in my opinion. You know, when we had stuff like Madman and Sin City, and I know they were Dark Horse, but they were still at the time relatively small press. But then you also had the rise of AIT Planet Lore, you had Oni Press, you had so much stuff coming out. So very excited. Joe says, looking forward to the Iron Man Ultron story arc. That's next issue, going to be nuts. I have not been keeping up with Tony Stark Iron Man. It started running late, started getting a little like, I don't know, I just kind of like wasn't as into it as I want to be. But especially with the Iron Man 2020 stuff coming up, I definitely got to get caught up on that book quick. So notice in my cup, that's I don't know if you can see it, that's an Auburn University glass. College football starts next week. Are you guys excited? Actually, it's already started because the Florida-Miami game was last night. No, I didn't watch it because I was working on the weekly pop culture wrap-up. But I heard it was a lackluster game. And I think it was Hamburger commented on the Swamp Thing figure, the Skin Man, right? The Skin Man, I believe, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this is the only Swamp Thing figure that I have, but I do want them all. All of them. All. You know, one time I was at Second and Charles, this was months ago, and they had like one of the Swamp Things, and I got a Storm and an Emmitt Smith starting lineup instead, and I kind of regret that I didn't get it. But I'm glad I got the Emmitt, and I'm glad I got the Storm, because that completed my X-Men Series 1 on-card collection. Though recently, my Colossus, the glue came undone on the blister package, and the Colossus fell out, and his arm broke. Are you serious? Are you serious? All I was doing was moving stuff around. So now I got to get a new Colossus. Of course, the three villains, Juggernaut, Apocalypse, and Magneto, I opened up for our show PCP Toys, which is now defunct. So I'm kind of regretting that. You know, what's crazy is that when I started collecting toys again, I was all about opening them up. And then I started saving some of the toys for that PCP Toy Show. And ever since I started saving them, now I find it very difficult to open up these toys. And it's never how I've usually been. And tonight, I plan on changing some of that. Because tonight I plan on opening up some toys that I've been saving on card for a while. For what reason? I have no idea, but we'll see. I missed some comments. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, man, I don't think that'd be an interesting comic book at all. What are my thoughts on Gwenpool? I'm on the fence. Is she a female Deadpool or is she special? Well, she's a little bit different. She's Gwen Stacy from another reality. She recognizes and understands that she's in a comic book. I'd never really read too much of her solo stuff. I really, really like her in West Coast Avengers. I tried to read the new one, and it just wasn't for me. It's a little over the top, a little too much that's just me. I don't like Deadpool. She is kind of like a version of Deadpool. She's Deadpool-esque, but a little bit different. I don't know. She's a cool, interesting character, and so is Deadpool, but just as a solo book, it wears me down. Yeah, the Ghost Spider-Gwen stuff has always been interesting to me, and I never thought it was bad, but it's never been like, to me, I don't know, I don't know, it's never really kept me enthralled throughout. What's up, champ? How are you doing? Getting tired of all the one-shot new number ones and all the variant covers. Well, Dodor, I hate to say it, but either get used to it or just keep getting tired of it. And that's just, I don't see any way of change. First of all, new number ones, that's not going to change. I was just recently reading Marv Wolfman talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths, and when he first pitched it, DC editorial told him there people don't like miniseries, and this is like in the 70s, right? And they were like, people are scared of number ones. They don't try books that are new because they feel like they want the bigger number. They trust it more. If Action Comics is in the 400s, 500s, whatever, they know that book has been successful and they're more likely to try it. Well, once the direct market came in, all that changed. And now number ones are like a big selling point. And so even though, the majority of people, and I'm a comic book retailer, so I see this, the majority of people like to complain. They vocalize how much they dislike the relaunch, how much they dislike all the new number ones, all the miniseries and stuff like that, right? And then when they release, they all go out and buy it. They all buy it. Well, you vote with your dollar, right? I don't mind a new number one. To me, Fantastic Four, for instance, is my favorite comic book of all time, right? I have every issue from a certain point onward, right? And it doesn't matter even if they relaunched it or anything like that. The numbers are still consecutive. They're still there. I'm still with it. And they'll always go back to celebrate a milestone or whatever. But yeah, I think that's, when I read that today, I was thinking, that's kind of where this stuff started, where the new number ones and all that stuff. Because it is crazy to think of that in the 70s and before, number ones were not a way to get people to buy comics at all. But that definitely started in the 80s and into the 90s. The 90s, it was a big thing. First issue collector's item, and people, I think, still have that mentality or something. I don't know. But it's a good way to get people nowadays, big numbers, from what I gather, from what I hear from my customers and all that, is that it's intimidating because they feel like they've been missing something. And of course, maybe that reflects how comic books are different. Back in the day, comic books were all pretty much self-contained. You could read one story, one issue, and you wouldn't really feel lost. They didn't really they referenced things, but it wasn't like one continuing story. It was one continuing story, but each issue was something different and unique and treated as if it could be possibly someone's first comic book. We've gotten away from that now, and comic books are way more decompressed, and they take longer to tell the story, but it's kind of like a trade-off, because now we get more realistic dialogue. Now we get more realistic pacing. Now we get more dynamic artwork, and we get the story to kind of spread out. And we get that widescreen, big, impactful type thing, and everything doesn't have to be crunched in to 6 or 9 panels per page, or 12 sometimes, But you know how it is. But anyway, all that to say, I feel you. I'm getting tired of all the variants, all the incentive programs and stuff like that. Did you hear Blaze is coming out with a new horror story called Vampire State Building? One of the writers is from the Walking Dead comics. Which one? Like who? From the Walking Dead comics? So either Kirkman or Adlard? Maybe Tony Moore? Is it a Tony Moore thing? He did like the first 6 issues. I'm too busy laughing at Raiders fans with Antonio Brown's antics. Yeah, he just doesn't want to practice. I think the same thing is going on with Zeke right now. I haven't been keeping up the last few days, so I don't know. I doubt that they've fixed any of that. I like the way, though, that with variants, I like the way that companies like Vault and DC do it. There's like an A cover, there's a B cover. Sometimes there's a C cover, but usually that's just, there's a variant. If you like that, get it. If you like cover A, get it. If you like the homage, old school cover from Vault, get it. Marvel, though, with all the different variants, I like the idea of the theme variant, but it's almost like, oh, so you're doing a Fantastic Four theme, so you want me to buy all these comic books I'm not typically going to buy to get the covers, right? And that's just a little silly, and then you add in the incentive program, and it just gets a little ridiculous, too much. Yeah, we'll be chatting about 2099 here in just a moment. I'm very excited about it. I loved 2099. And we do not sell artwork at our shop currently, no. We have some artwork that's hung up on the wall, but we do not sell it. But there's a really awesome artist market in our community here called Low Mill, the Flying Monkey. It's pretty cool, and it's super, super awesome. And it's got like space for a lot of artists to go there. So there's a lot of local artists that have shops there, that do like artist market type things there, and it's really, really cool. So we have a nice, thriving art scene already outside of the comic shop in town, and that's something that's very special about where I live right now. Oh man, history of the Marvel Universe is my jam. Did you notice how they managed to time scale away the Vietnam into like, what was it, the Sea Kong, something like that conflict? That was pretty interesting. I like that. It takes some random mentions in Avengers comics and creates a non-time specific war that Ben Grimm, Reed Richards, Frank Castle, I almost said Randy Rhodes, James Rhodes, that it creates something timeless that they can be a part of. Because, of course, originally, like with Ben Grimm, he was in World War II. Well, there's no way that could possibly be happening. Of course, Frank Castle, now there's no way that at the age he's portrayed at, that he was in Vietnam. So I think that's really, really cool. Right there, Adam. Yeah, Adam says, I agree. Number ones, I'm so willing to try something new, I would feel lost at issue number 80. And it's because of the way stories are told now. Like, if you started reading Sandman at issue number, 27, like, okay, that's fine, but you definitely would want to go back and check it out. Now, I think we also have more of a hesitancy today for people to get into a book before they start it. For instance, just using this as an example, 100 Bullets, when that book was out and going, I didn't start reading it until the third story arc. So I just immediately, when the third story arc started, which was Hang Up on the Hanglow, I started reading it. And I enjoyed it. And of course, the way that story was structured, it was a little bit easier, but I just started reading it, right? And then I got the trades eventually, because trades, we're kind of very privileged now when it comes to trades, because back in the day, it wasn't like 6 issues and then a trade, 7 issues and then a trade. It would, like, sometimes you'd have to wait a while. Sometimes you didn't have trades for things. Sometimes you're like me and you're trying to get all of Warren Ellis's Stormwatch, and it's not all available in trade paperback at the time. It's like right now, for instance. But, nowadays you have a much easier route to catch up on books, especially with digital collections, with the elaborate graphic novel trade paperback market. That's something we didn't have back in the 90s as strongly as we do today. So it's still easy. I mean, like, yeah, if it's at issue 80, like, you can still catch up on things like that. With superheroes, of course, though, it's a little bit different. And I like how they do tie in their relaunches usually towards, like, new runs, like a new starting point. I like that, at least. But sometimes they don't, like how, sometimes it doesn't. Like Matthew Rosenberg's first issue of Punisher was like in the 200s or something like that. And then they relaunched it with a new number 1 just because there was a line-wide relaunch. I hate stuff like that. Unless it's necessary. I hate stuff like that. But History of the Marvel Universe is my jam. That book is so well researched. Mark Waid knows exactly what he's talking about and what he's doing. I get it. That's why I just say for the most part, ignore incentive covers. That's the only way they're going to learn. And they always go down in price in a few months. Usually, not all the time. Sometimes if you're speccing on something, sometimes it can be good to get the incentive because that will be worth more. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they just get you. Like when they did those hip hop covers, man, it was hard as hell for me not to get them. Oh, it's Atler. Okay, super cool. What's up, Vad Wanu? How are you doing? Oh, Raymond, I'm very excited about the D23 announcements. I covered a lot of that in the weekly pop culture wrap-up this morning. But yeah, super, super fun. I'm right there with you, Squared. I like the logo on the cover. I used to have family in Ohio. My family is originally from Ohio, so yeah, I should go up there sometime and check that out. But I'm very excited about the D23 announcements. We'll be getting to that here in just a minute, a little bit. Oh, George, my opinions on the speculator market's interesting. I'm not against speculating or anything like that. I mean, that's part of comic book collecting. But we have this new wave that's very reminiscent of stuff in the 90s where people are coming in and they're trying to snatch up everything that they can. They're trying to buy out comic shops. At my shop, we don't allow people to buy things out. We want everybody to have a chance to get a book. For instance, Batman number 77, big deal, right? It was already selling on eBay that morning for like $20-$30. Well, we had plenty of them, but we knew we were going to sell them. And so we just limited them one per person, right? And everybody got a copy and they were all happy, right? But had we allowed someone to come in there and buy up 20 copies here, 5 copies there, 10 copies there, it wouldn't have happened. Now, if you pre-order it, you can have as many as you want. That means you're taking a gamble just like we do when we order the books. But then they go up, they go down, and the speculator market's interesting now because a lot of people just see some stuff online and they just, they go online and people are already charging more, and then maybe like in a different local market, the book is more plentiful than it is in other local markets. So it's an interesting thing. I'm all about speculation, but I think if you truly want to speculate on comics, get the Silver Age stuff, get Golden Age stuff, that stuff, get first appearances, get key issues. That stuff has stood the test of time and will stand the test of time and will continue to like, the first appearance of Wolverine is not going to drop in value. You know what I'm saying? But the first appearance of Star, it's going to drop in value. I guarantee it. The recent issue of Batman is going to drop in value when, say, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now. It doesn't matter. But you can, if you're trying to do the spec market, you got to be really smart about it, and you're gonna have some wasted money. It's just part of the game, I guess. Howard the Duck's fun. Are you talking about the original stuff by Steve Gerber? That stuff's amazing. That's really fun. Super fun. What's up with Marvel Comics 1000? When did they hit 1000? Are they trying to copy Detective? Oh, they're trying to copy Detective and Action Comics. That's exactly what it is. They're celebrating 80 years, and so they're doing a 1000 special just because it was successful for the other companies. I would prefer it just to be called like the Marvel 80 years, special or something like that. Oh, you're welcome, Alexander. I'm glad you enjoyed the announcement for $20.99. Thank you, Raymond. Yeah, Joe, I'm right there with you. I really hope Marvel, Disney, and Sony work out a deal for Spidey. It's still a possibility, and I'm down for it. I think it's the best for the fans because it seems like we're really liking Spidey being tied into the MCU. At least I am, for sure. Oh, no problem, Logan. That's why we were able to have copies of Powers of X and House of X for you. Oh, Brett, Mandalorian looks so good, does it not? Oh, it looks amazing. I'm so excited. Oh, thank you, George. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm super excited about Moon Knight, the TV show. I hope they take a lot from that Warren Ellis, Declan Shalvey run. And yeah, Aaron Kuder on a new Ghost Rider book. I'm excited. I think Ghost Rider's been needing some love for a while. No actor announced yet, John. And welcome, by the way. No actor announced yet for Moon Knight. We were speculating, John, on the podcast this weekend and on the After Hours, which hasn't been released, that Kit Harington had just been announced for a mystery role and that it was going to be him, but it's actually going to be Black Knight, Dane Whitman, that he's playing in the Eternals movie. So that's cool. A lot of people are already speculating on the Black Knight stuff because of some referencing in Captain Marvel and the Captain Marvel movie. So at least they're happy, right? Kid and Puke, I am super excited for the new Rambo film. I love all the Rambo movies. As bad as they can get, I love all of the Rambo movies. It's one of my favorite action franchises. I think Eternals is going to be awesome because it's going to be straight up Kirby, and I'm very excited for that. Very excited. Kid and Puke, I don't know if you're messing with me about your love for the Rambo movies, but I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. Let's see what's coming up in comic shops this week, because I'm going to tell you this. It's an exciting new comic book day this week for August 28th. All right, my phone's wigging out. Let's see what's going on. It's weird I got a message from Holshoe, even though I'm talking to him right here. I do not remember Pocket Power figures at all. At all. Who said something about that? No, I have no idea what that is. They look cool. I don't read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, but I'm excited to see the animated series. That's a concept that was initially created by Jack Kirby. Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. I just completely closed out where I was. All right. Only Batman 77 for pool customer at the local comic shops in our area. Very limited issues for walk-in customers. We were on our very last couple copies on yesterday. I know that. Something Is Killing the Children is awesome. I've read that first issue, and it is so freaking good. It is super good, and it just got upgraded to an ongoing. So that's very exciting. So this week in new comics, let's start off with Dark Horse. I just did it again. Here we go. I don't know how to operate my phone. From Dark Horse Comics this week. Why, are you serious? Okay. We're having technical difficulties. Just a second. What's up, One God Tank? How are you doing? Oh my goodness, what is going on? Okay. So I don't know how to operate phones right now, or I'm like Clark Kent Superman where electronics don't work so well near me. You know, that's an idea they kind of got rid of. They don't really do that anymore. Oh, there we go. From Dark Horse this week, Fight Club 3, number 8. I have not been reading that one. I tried reading Fight Club 2, and I just wasn't feeling it. Manor Black number 2 is out this week. That's very exciting. I loved issue number 1. Stranger Things 6 wraps up with issue number 4 this week. Tommy Gun Wizards number 1 starts this week. I'm hearing really, really good things about that book. I didn't get a chance to get an early copy myself, but that's one to be looking out for. It's going to have some hypeness behind it. And that's from Dark Horse. Let's move over to IDW. Disney Afternoon Giant number 6. DuckTales Silence and Science number 1. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 266 is out this week. Mountainhead number 1 is out this week. A new book, I think it's John Lee's and Ryan Lee. That book is amazing. I got an early look at that like a month or two ago. I did an advanced review of issue number 1 of Mountainhead, so definitely check that out if you're interested, because that book is cool. And if you like things like Road to Bones or something like that, if you like, I think you'll like it. It's really good. Sonic the Hedgehog number 20. Star Pig number 2 arrives this week. Star Trek Year 5 number 5. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 96. No, 97. There's a second printing of number 96 out. And TMNT Shredder in Hell number 4 finally comes out, as well as Urban Legends number 16. And Transformers number 11. That's from IDW. From Dynamite, this week, Red Sonja, Vampirilla, Betty, and Veronica, number 4. And that's pretty much it. From Boom Studios, what do we got? Angel, number 4, super cool. The first trade paperback of Avant-Garde's, awesome. The last issue of Bone Parish is out this week. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Chosen Ones, it's a one-shot, out this week. The Just Beyond Scare School original graphic novel by R.L. Stine is out this week, so that's kind of exciting because I was a super fan of Goosebumps back in the day. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 42, Lumberjanes number 65, Steven Universe number 31. And that's from IDW. I'm really excited about that R.L. Stine one. I got an early look at it, but I have not had the time to check it out at all. Before we get to the big 3, let's look at some of the other companies. Valiant releases Dr. Mirage number 1 out this week. Drawing Blood number 4 is out this week. Invader Zim 46. Jughead the Hunger versus Vampironica number 4. The Killers number 2. Knights Temporal number 2. Mary Shelley Monster Hunter number 5. I'm loving everything attached to Hayden Sherman. I love his artwork so much. Red Winter number 2 from Scout Comics. Rick and Morty number 53 from Oni Press. And let's go ahead and talk about it. Vault Comics has an absolute crazy, awesome week. It may be the most awesome week Vault Comics has ever had. There are some amazing titles coming out. Cult Classic Return to Whisper has a second print of number 2 and the release of number 3. It's a double feature, issue 2 and 3 collected together. I'm very excited about that. We're finally getting some of that content for Return to Whisper we haven't gotten before. Vault Comics is releasing their second Heathen trade paperback, so you can totally get caught up and ready as it approaches a new ongoing schedule. I've read trade paperback 1, very excited to check out 2, really cool stuff. Maul number 1 from Michael Morisi and Gary Doberman comes out this week. I did an advanced review for that one a few weeks ago. Check that out on the channel. It's great. It's like Dawn of the Dead meets the Warriors in a way, but without any zombies. Really fun stuff. Resonant has its second issue out this week, and it's awesome. I've read it. It's great. I've also read the second issue of Sarah and the Royal Stars. That's out this week. It really elaborates on the world building and what's going on in the story. It does it fantastically well. She Said Destroy number 4 is out this week. There's an advanced review for that one debuting here on the channel tomorrow morning. And Test number 3. What an exciting, crazy week for Vault Comics. Fantastic. Bam. Fantastic. What are your thoughts on Naomi making her appearances in Action Comics 1015? I am excited about it. I really like the character. I'm excited to see her interact with the DC Universe. Comic Shop didn't have Alien Rescue. Oh, that sucks. Did they get shorted? It happens. Shorted, damaged, things like that. The new Star Trek series, Picard, all I've heard is pretty much what everybody else has heard, and I'm excited as hell about it. I saw Headless on the. We ordered Headless, but we didn't get it last week. I thought it was supposed to be this week, but apparently it was last week. But I haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet. But I've heard good things. I think Joe over at Joe Ryan just did a review for it this morning, but I haven't checked it out yet. Yeah, everybody, let's shout out to Carl. What's up, Carl? Is Carl here? Or are you just shouting him out? I have listened to this on my way home every Sunday for about a year. Very happy to catch it live. Well, thank you so much, Thomas. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Carnage, Villain of the Year. Seems like it. Maybe Lex Luthor, though. Some crazy things going on in Justice League, right? What's up, Atari? How are you doing? Yeah, I am totally getting all of the Absolute Carnage tie-ins. And so far, I've enjoyed all of them. Even the Deadpool one. I've enjoyed it. Let's look at Image Comics this week. We've got Ascender number 5. We have Black Science number 42. In case you missed out on Coffin Bound, we have a second printing of issue number 1 out this week. We've got Ice Cream Man number 14. Ice Cream Man is one of the most innovative and just out there books, and it's awesome. It's great. And you can literally start any issue. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. That's from Image Comics. Image has kind of got a little bit of a light week, but that's cool because we got a lot of Vault coming out. Oh, and Necromancer's Map. Did I say that one? Necromancer's Map number 1 comes out from Vault this week, and it's the second book of Songs for the Dead, which is a great, great book. Love it. And that's a fantasy book from Dark Horse. Let's look at DC next. The beer I'm drinking is Monkey Knot. It's from Straight to Ale. It's one of our local breweries here. It's an IPA. I really enjoy it. It's great. Yeah, it's really hard, Reggie, to find Scout comics out in the wild. It's even hard to find them at my shop because nobody pre-orders them, but they all want them whenever they hear of one that's like going up in price. Of course, I had the opportunity to check out Category 0 well beforehand because Adem, he reached out to me and offered it to me for a review, and I checked it out, and I really did enjoy it. So we were lucky, and I was able to up my orders of Category 0. But I don't know if Scout Comics has some kind of program where they reach out to retailers to give them early looks, but they need to do it more. I have gotten early looks at Red Winter number 2 and 3, and I'm enjoying that series a lot. But reaching out to retailers and people like me and letting us get early looks at things, that's a good way to help bring attention to something before it releases. And before, like Source Point Press just recently with Dead End Kids, that book was pretty good. And I wish I would have been able to read it and let y'all know a little bit early that I thought it was going to be good. So then everybody could have had the chance to go in, pre-order it, get one reserved. But now you can't find it. It's like $20-$30 online, something like that. So there you go. What's up, Hermione? How are you doing? Did you enjoy that Fantastic Four book? We're about to be hitting 5,000 subscribers, and we'll be doing another giveaway. I feel like you just won that Fantastic Four book for 4,000, but now we're approaching 5,000. Something just happened. Aaron Judge just hit a home run. I have not been paying attention. Anyway, so we're about to be doing something crazy. No, they were just showing something. Oh, wait. Someone just hit a home run. Was that Ford? I can't see. I can't see these uniforms they're wearing. Is that Ford or is that Trotman? I can't tell. They're wearing those black costumes. It's like the Players' Choice weekend or whatever, where they all have their names on the back end or whatever. Super cool. But yeah, we're about to hit 5,000 subscribers. We're like 100 subscribers away. So everybody, yeah, there you go. Everybody, start sharing the channel again, because when we hit 5,000, we're doing another fantastic giveaway. Oh yeah, the Andrew Luck news was crazy out of nowhere. Who plays fantasy football? Did anybody draft him? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And yeah, go Yankees. Go Yankees. From DC this week, Action Comics 1014. Superman and Supergirl still delayed. What is up with that? I think they realized that I think after all, because they even had more advertisements where Lightning Lad looked as if he was black or something like that. So I don't even know what's going on with that book. I really at this point, I'm thinking that they didn't promote the reemergence of the Legion of Superheroes enough. And I think they're kind of like, oh no, we haven't even been advertising this. I don't know. Like, that news about the Legion kind of came and went, and nobody, like, it just kind of, and then it was time for it to happen. I don't think people were ready. Yeah, we did get our copies of Dead End Kids 2, but we had more people want it than we had ordered. Because with comic shops, you got to order this stuff like 2 months ahead of time, right? So at the time, nobody wanted it, so we ordered a certain number, and it wasn't enough. That's unfortunate when that happens. Oh, yeah, I'm in Bama. Oh, Bama. Also from DC this week, Batgirl 38, Batman Beyond 35, Batman Curse of the White Knight number 2, Batman Superman number 1. I have read this. It's interesting. If you want to know what Batman Who Laughs is doing, you're going to have to read this one. Speaking of Batman Who Laughs, his hardcover comes out this week. Books of Magic number 11 drops this week. Detective Comics 1010 comes out this week. Dial H for Hero number 6. Very excited about that one. I'm loving that book. Flash number 77. Freedom Fighters returns with issue number 8. Harley Quinn Breaking Glass, the DC Inc. graphic novel, comes out this week. The facsimile edition of House of Secrets 92, which is the first appearance of Swamp Thing, is out this week. Some good old Bernie Wrightson. Justice League number 30. Now, the Bernie Wrightson, did he do House of Secrets 92, or did he just do the ongoing? He did it, right? Pretty sure. Justice League 30. Justice League Dark 14. Martian Manhunter number 8. Let's see. Book 2 of The Orion by Walter Simonson. If you've never read that book is powerful, and it's awesome. It's really good stuff. Red Hood Outlaw number 37 is out this week. Terrifics number 19 is out this week. Wonder Woman 77. Did you hear? Wilson is leaving Wonder Woman, and Steve Orlando's jumping on. I know that's going to make Zach over at Comics Bookcase really happy. He just looked like he was tired of football. Huh? He's going to have to pay the Colts back $12 million. That's crazy. Do you think House of Powers of X, all these reprints is just to sell more, or did local comic shops just not order enough? Well, I wouldn't have assumed that comic shops wouldn't have ordered enough of this until last week here on the live stream, where I saw a lot of y'all reaching out, talking about how your shops didn't have copies of it, and it was crazy to me. So I think it is to fulfill that demand for sure. And also because why not, right? Speaking of Marvel Comics, what do they got coming out this week? Absolute Carnage number 2 is out this week, and I'm absolutely excited. Super excited. Absolute Carnage Lethal Protectors number 1 is out this week. Absolute Carnage Miles Morales number 1 is out this week. All these tie-ins, and I'm so excited. Amazing Spider-Man 28 is out this week. Amazing Spider-Man Venom 3D Polybag number 1. It looks like a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 300 in 3D. That's super cool. Avengers 23 is out this week. Black Panther 15. Captain America 13. Doctor Strange 18. Fantastic Four 4 Yancey Street number 1 is out this week. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 11. House of X number 3. So excited for that. There's a Maggot action figure variant. Are you serious? I didn't even know that was coming. I have to get that. Maggot's one of my favorites. I'm not even kidding. Marvel Comics 1000 comes out this week with a whole bunch of covers. I'm going to get the Ross cover. And maybe the Allred cover. I really like that Allred cover. Actually, they're doing the Decade variants just like they did with Detective. And, wow. Some good ones. Oh, I got to get the 70s variant because it's got Blade on it. Oh, man. Why are they doing this to me? Why are they doing this? Marvel Monsters number 1 is out this week. Marvel Team Up number 5. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur 46. Power Pack Grow Up number 1. Runaways 24. She-Hulk Annual number 1. Spider-Man Life Story number 6, the final issue. Awesome. Spider-Man Velocity. I think that's tied into the video games. Number 1 out this week. Star Wars Age of Resistance. General Hux number 1. It's a one-shot about Hux. And the Poe Dameron one-shot comes out as well. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge number 5, the final issue. Thanos number 5, the penultimate issue. Thor number 16. Venom number 17, another Absolute Carnage tie-in. And that's Marvel Comics. There's a lot of exciting comic books this week, and I'm very excited to be talking about them on the weekly comic book review. And let's get back to the comments. Yeah, Powers of 10 number 3 started going up online too. Crazy. I'm right there with you. I think Jonathan Hickman's brilliant. I love his stories. 31 watching, only 24 likes, Thomas says. So just like Thomas suggests, let's hit that like button. Thumbs up. I don't think Absolute Carnage 2 is going to be as big as issue number 1, but I do think it's going to be extra sized. Oh, Raymond, I appreciate that. I just can't roll tide you back. I just can't do it. The Stephanie Hans variant cover for Jane Foster. I don't know if I noticed that. But Wanna Beast, I'm right there with you. I really like Willow Wilson. That's her name, right? I really like her work, especially over at Miss Marvel. But I just was not digging her Wonder Woman run. I tried. I have faith in Donnie. I think he's going to keep it hot. I think he will. So what do y'all think about the Sony Spider-Man stuff? Any opinions? You got a side? The only side I got is Rockin Robbie. And the side for Rockin Robbie wants Tom Holland Spider-Man to continue his MCU journey because I want to see him interact with Johnny Storm and the Fantastic Four. That's just me. 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 I really want to I want to see it continue. That's just me. We got some people saying they like Sony, and there you go. There you go. I'm just a little worried. I don't know. Sony did a great job hiring Sam Raimi. They did a great job with Marvel being greedy. I think Marvel and Sony are both greedy in both of this. Damn, Adam. Damn. That's crazy. I'm not all like that. Yeah, What If is going to be super cool. I'm excited for that. It's going to be animated. Heck yeah. Adam, I like DC. I also love Marvel. I like both of them. I just love comics. And no, I don't think Marvel can use Miles either. I don't think so. I think it's all the Spider-Man stuff. Based on business principle, Sony is in the right. Well, based on business principle, they're both in the right. Disney has well within their rights to want to restructure and the contract is up. You know what I'm saying? Like the deal is up. So it's time to either redo the deal or have it die off and it be done. So there you go. So I don't think it's out of place for either company to make the demands that they want to make. Yeah, see, the peace was only temporary, Hamburger Basket. And me personally, I just think that Sony, now that they got a string of Spidey hits, they think that they can do it on their own. And maybe they can. They've done it on their own before. They've also tanked it on their own before. But that being said, Disney and Marvel Studios has released some films that didn't quite live up to my anticipation. So I understand both parties, just like Herminio said, and for us fans, at least for me as a fan, I would love to see Spider-Man continue in the MCU just because I want to see him interact with the Fantastic Four. I want to see him a little bit more. And that's the thing. I'm right there with you, buddy. I think that things are going too well right now to just wreck it, right? But whatever. Both companies will do what they're going to want to do, and we'll just deal with what happens. And no matter what happens, I just hope the next Spider-Man movie is great. Because Far From Home was all right. I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as Homecoming. I thought Homecoming was super solid. It was my favorite Spider-Man movie live action. Because Into the Spider-Verse, pretty dope. Absolutely loved it. So we were talking about a lot about this Disney Plus stuff. I'm super excited. A Miss Marvel show, a She-Hulk show, a Moon Knight show. So excited. Also in the pop culture wrap-up, we were talking about the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur series, and I was talking about the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends series. I said that those are going to be on Disney Plus. They're actually going to be on the Disney Channel, which hopefully some of the original content on the Disney Channel will be available on Disney Plus. That'd be super cool. I bet Sony's Spider-Man will have a darker tone. I don't know about that. Maybe if they incorporate him into Venom. And I think that what I've heard, and there's so many different things you're hearing, I would not trust hardly anything that you hear about the Sony Marvel deal right now, because there's a lot of different conflicting information from different websites. Well, I think Marvel, as far as cinema goes, is kind of already kicking DC's ass and has been doing it for a while. And it is unfortunate because I love the DC characters, and I really think that they need a stronger presence in the cinematic world, like they used to have. I think the thunder started. So let's start going. Clone Wars starts in February of 2020. Very excited about that. We were talking about the 2099 stuff. I'm very, very excited about that. Real question. Time to get to the question of the week. What is your favorite Alien film? And what I mean is not the franchise Alien. What I mean is film about aliens or about an alien, right? We got a new podcast that we're going to be doing in a couple weeks about aliens, and we're going to be doing a big segment on the Aliens franchise, the Ridley Scott movie, the James Cameron movies, and so on and so forth. But we are also going to be just talking about alien movies in general. So what are your favorite movies that feature aliens or an alien? Let us know right now in the comments. And the best answers maybe get shout-outs on the podcast. So y'all let me know right now. ID4, that's a great one. I love it. It's a great movie. I like how damaged Moon Knight is and how he interacts with heroes like Captain America, especially during the first Civil War. Moon Knight struggles so much. Absolutely. I dig it. Life? You talking about the Eddie Murphy movie? Life with Martin Lawrence? Is that about aliens? Mars Attacks, that's a great one. Cocoon, that's a great one. Dark Skies, I've never seen that one. 100 last week in Jersey. Wow. The heat index has been over 100 here over the last week. It's been hot. Predator counts. Predator's an alien. Heck yeah. Independence Day. They live. Great one. Life Force. It's a good one. Pulling it out. Space vampires in a way. District 9 is probably the most innovative twist on the genre during its time. District 9's a really cool movie. I like it. Yeah, They Live is a great choice. And yeah, Life Force. I'm surprised someone pulled out Life Force. It's Tobe Hooper. I love that. I used to love that movie. Spider-Verse was great. E.T., great one. I mentioned my thoughts on The Matrix 4 on the weekly pop culture wrap-up, but basically to put it all together for you, I love the Matrix films. I think they're some of the most important films of my lifetime. I love all 3 of the Matrix films. I love the Animatrix. I am all down for this. I think some of those themes are more relevant today than they were 20 years ago. So I'm really excited, but I'm very curious as to how it's going to still have Trinity, especially, and Neo as well, but especially Trinity. Independence Day was definitely the best garbage movie ever. That's funny. The Fifth Element, that's a great one. 2010. Well, A Space Odyssey is 2001, but 2010 is the year we made contact. And I love both films, but especially 2001. Over. You thought Neo died. Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. I could totally understand Neo still being there, though, more so than Trinity, because Trinity died as well. Oh, Life was a Ryan Reynolds movie. See, I thought you were talking about the Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence movie about them in prison, which I love. It's a great movie. Bernie Mac's in that. You gonna eat that cornbread? I love it. My stepmother is an alien. That's funny. Black Hole by Disney. Heck yeah, these are some great answers. We're going to get some shout outs on the next podcast. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else want to chime in? Go ahead. And then I'll get some show and tell ready. I do want to point out to everybody right now that we are on Patreon. And on Patreon, every once in a while, you get a little bit of extra content. Right now, what we're doing is early access to Comics Revisited. We got a new episode of Comics Revisited coming out this week. And if you're on Patreon, you have it right now. That's right. But I do want to go down the list and thank everybody who is one of our supporters here on Patreon. And it's David Hatch, Alex, David, Adem, Chamorro Cinema, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Joe Ryan of Joe Ryan's Comics, and Brian. I really do appreciate it. Y'all absolutely rock, and you help keep us doing what we do. Movie reviews, comic book reviews, all that and more. If you want to join in on support, see your name on screen or anything like that, or get early access to videos and special content here and there, like the PCP After Hours podcast, which we have 2 new episodes debuting of that this week. It's a Patreon exclusive. Jump on over to patreon.com/PCP. John Hammer Time Holshoe says, Life with Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal is amazing. You need to see it if you haven't. Well, I haven't. Yeah, but I thought Neo broke the cycle. I thought him and Trinity and their love broke the cycle. Dark City was a decent movie. I would say that. Got some Mars attacks, got some space pirates. The old Doom books were alien-based. There you go. Spaceballs. That's a good one. Yeah, Thomas. Joe does great stuff. I really like his work. Joe's a super cool dude. We keep teasing that we're going to be working on something together one day, and maybe we will. We will. But we're both very busy people. But we're trying to work it out right now. Yeah, I love The Matrix. Love it. 2036 Origin Unknown. Some of these movies I've never heard of. You give me some content to check out. Nobody has said Alien yet. I recently rewatched Alien in preparation for this podcast, and wow. It's just every time I watch that movie, it just gets better and better. It's being re-released through a Fathom event in October. Very excited to do that. We'll go watch it in theater for the first time. It's going to be so fun. My favorite of the Aliens movies is, of course, Alien. Tobe Hooper also did Space Invaders from Mars, I think. Maybe, I don't know. He, of course, did Life Force. He did Funhouse. Of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It is a great horror film. Alien's amazing. I love it. I just watched it this morning or this afternoon. It's fantastic. I love it. It really is still very effective today and still my favorite of all those movies. And it also made me really want to rewatch Prometheus, and I've never seen Alien Covenant still, but I'll be watching it before we do the show. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Heck yeah, that's a great pick. I know Hammer Time loves that one. Ooh, Event Horizon. That's a great movie. Scary. S Squared says Alien. There you go. Life is the Venom movie we need. I haven't seen 10 Cloverfield Lane yet. You don't forget The Thing. I promise you we won't. Oh, Day of the Earth says Still Joe. That's one of my favorites. I love that movie. What's up, Russell? How are you doing? And once again, I got to remind you, hit that thumbs up button. That's a great way to support us, aside from just watching the channel. Of course, patreon.com/PCP. You can join these other patron supporters. And, of course, you can throw in on the tip jar here on the live stream. We're always very appreciative of any contribution to help keep the channel going and growing. Like I said, we are about to approach 5,000 subscribers. Another great contest, so let's share the channel, everybody, and hit that thumbs up button. We're nearing the end of what if Neo and Trinity become programs? I'm really excited for this movie, obviously. I'm excited for it, too. I just really want to see where they're going to go with it. But I love the Matrix films. I think they're amazing. War of the Worlds, great film. Great book. And a great radio program. The War of the Worlds by Orson Welles, because I love Orson Welles' voice so much. I love it. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I will say that I think all of my top 5 have been mentioned tonight. Yeah, I just replaced the Absolute Carnage poster. It's now there. But yeah, the House of X poster, I love it. I got a Powers of 10 poster too. Flight of the Navigator, Dark City. What's up, Comic Otaku? We're about to get into show and tell. All right. The first thing I want to talk about on show and tell is this. Why am I showing off the Crisis on Infinite Earths trade paperback? Why? Because I'm reading it right now. I've been reading this book for the last couple nights. I'm very excited because we are filming the Comics Revisited for Crisis on Infinite Earths this week. And I'm so excited. It's not releasing this week, but we're filming it this week, me and Jelani. And that book never fails to amaze me. This week, though, on Comics Revisited, we have The Authority. That's right. Warren Ellis, Brian Hitch, The Authority. Me and Jelani revisiting that. Like I said, if you're on patreon.com/PCP, you have access to this video right now. Otherwise, it debuts Thursday morning. Super excited to revisit The Authority. It was a great video. It was a great revisit, and I had so much fun with it. Me and Jelani. I got the House of X poster at my comic shop. They are actually available, so if you want one, let your shop know, and they should be able to order it. There's also a Powers of 10 poster. I think it's Raymond, I think it's a little too early to say that it's the best X-Men run ever yet, but it's definitely already on the way there, for sure. It is a handsome Crisis volume. You know, I really want... There's this like box set that's coming out that has this and all the Crisis on Multiple Earths and all the tie-ins and stuff, and that's really cool. But what's really special about this is that Alex Ross cover. That is just absolutely fantastic. And it takes scenes and every character that's in the book is in there. Oh, I love this book. George Perez, Marv Wolfman. If you've never read Crisis on Infinite Earths, you definitely have to. You definitely deserve to. It's got great art, great layouts, great composition. You will get a crash course in DC history before they destroy it and reboot it. Because that's what happened. It's such a great book. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. You know, we're talking a little bit about the 2099 stuff. And last week, somebody had mentioned 2099, and now we got the announcement. And I mentioned last week that I had a Doom 2099 poster that I was going to hang up, but I kind of want to get it framed. But I got it right here, so I'll show it to you. This is an original promo poster from back in the day. It's still folded up. Check out this baby. What? So you got, I almost said Frank Castle, but it's Gallows, right? Was it Jake Gallows, Jack Gallows, something like that? You got Doom, you got Punisher, you got Ravage, you got Spider-Man. The future of Marvel Comics is now 2099. I'm very excited to get this framed and hung up one day. But I wanted to show it off. Why, thank you, Hamburger Basket. All right, so I mentioned a little bit earlier about my hesitancy to open up toys once so back in the day, full disclosure, back in the day, we started a series called PCP Toys. And what it was going to be is it was going to be me, it was going to be Jelani and Brooks and maybe a couple others. And we were going to be opening up toys, talking about them, things like that, right? Because I love toys. We all love toys here, right? But, you know, it took a lot of work to do it. It took a lot of timing, a lot of scheduling, and between the movie reviews, between Comics Revisited, which was an idea that I had brewing in my head, and now we're in the second season of that, it was just kind of hard to get it all corralled. It kind of took a little bit more effort, a little bit more time, a little bit more of a crew behind it because we use multiple cameras and things like that. I'm still very proud of that show, and I would like to bring it back one day. However, what it led to was this idea in my head that I would be holding on to all these toys because we were going to be doing all these PCP Toys videos, right? But we didn't, right? So I got a lot of these toys and I've never opened them up. And tonight I'm going to open up two that I've been holding on to for a while. They're both Batman villains from Batman movies. Can you guess what they are? Any guess real quick? And yes, The Authority is great. And while you guys throw in your guess, I want to remind you, this week, The Authority on Comics Revisited. In Season 1, me and Jelani covered Warren Ellis' Stormwatch. And this one, we continue with The Authority by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch. Fantastic stuff. So The Explorers. I love that movie. Joe Dante. It's not a Joker toy. I do not have any Joker toys on card. It's not a Two-Face. I do have a Two-Face Joker toy, but it's not on card. It's not Riddler. It's not Bane. I don't have either of those. Flicking Stuff has it. It's Penguin. One of them's Penguin. What's the other one? Oh, Lost S. Rat King. Oh my goodness. You're talking about from the Turtles? That would be so amazing. If I had one of him on card, I would keep it, though. On card, I think. Anyway, I got a Penguin here. What's funny about this Penguin figure is that it looks nothing like Danny DeVito as Penguin, but it's just the Superpowers toy repainted in black, red, and white. But it's so cool. I loved this figure when I was a kid because his helicopter makes a backpack. So, actually, it's up there on the villain shelf, but I have the redo of the Superpowers Penguin, which is this one, but it's the blue one, right? So we're going to open this one up because I've held on to it for a while and I'm done holding on to it. I want to open it up. I need the space too. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it, right? Right? By the way, nobody else has said what the other Spider-Man movie villain that I'm going to be opening up tonight is. Thank you so much, Hamburger Basket. You make me feel better about opening this up. I really do appreciate that, Hamburger Basket. Really. I really, really do. Champ. Champ, champ, champ. Champ is right. It's Mr. Freeze. So let's open up the Penguin first. We're doing it. Mostly because I really love this recoloring of this figure. When I was a kid, the Batman Returns line was the best. I even had these penguins. So it's open. Here we go. I love this figure. I love the repaint. I love the helicopter backpack umbrella thing. All right. Let's get the missile out. Not the missile, but the connector there. All right. So here it is right here, the Penguin figure. And it's pretty much just a repaint of the one from, the 80s, the Superpowers one. Yep, that new toy smell, right? His tails, his coattails are on there, just like in the old school one. There you go. He does have this hole in his back where you can put the backpack on. Whoops. I love that they added the little detail of the little umbrella right there. Okay, so here's the umbrella. And the original one, I don't think did anything. He held it, you'd squeeze his arms, and he'd like throw it up. Now, the one that I have right up there, I just hit my head on my Star Trek books. But I don't know what it smells like. It really doesn't smell like anything. No, it doesn't. And I like a good smell, But anyway, so this goes in there. Oh, but the repackaged one has this missile that like flies out. Like I opened that one up not too long ago on the show, actually. So that goes in, and I think it actually does launch as well. Yeah, it does. All right. So there's the umbrella. So either A, you put it on his wrist, right? Or whatever wrist it goes on. Let's just do it like that, right? So you do that, and you can hit the button. Whoa, and it's going to fly out, right? But what I thought was even cooler is you put it back in, and you connect it to his back. And now, just like that scene in the movie, I just think that's so cool. I just think that's so freaking cool. I loved it back then, and I love it now. And then I guess we could launch it like that, like. There you go. I'm very glad that because it hit the plug, and I'm very glad that it didn't turn the lights off. But yeah, so that figure's open now. Champ was right about the other one, though. It's a Mr. Freeze figure from Batman and Robin. Right there. It kind of looks almost nothing like Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's the back of it right there. Not a good movie at all. But let's open up this Mr. Freeze figure. I've had this unpackaged for a while. It used to hang in the old studio. It used to hang behind me. So let's do it. Yes, those X-Men 80th anniversary figures are dope. Who cares, right? Batman and Robin, right? Who cares? What I do like about this Mr. Freeze is the translucency of some of the plastic. I think it's super cool. All right, let's take a look at it. First of all, he has this contraption, which is kind of confusing to me. There's like a whole bunch of different pieces. How does it fit together? How are there no instructions? Are you serious? Okay, so it looks like... This is so stupid. It looks like these go on his feet, on his legs? What? Okay. Weird. Let's just look at the Mr. Freeze figure first. Like I said, I really like that translucency on the figure. I always loved figures that had that. The Forge figure, for instance, from the Toy Biz X-Men line has that. It's actually a really cool looking Mr. Freeze figure. It doesn't look anything like the movie. Maybe a little bit of an Arnold presence in the face, but not too much. I don't know if that's gonna... I like ducked down as if it was gonna make the... I think it worked. Not really. Anyway. Let's see what goes... So this is... That's what that does. That's literally... It's his freeze gun, see? And there's the eyes coming. That's so stupid. You could have had like an ice missile that got launched out of that. That would be way better, wouldn't it? The figure itself I like. I do like the figure. There's no posability whatsoever. But I do like that figure. That's stupid. So these... Oh, I see what they are. This is so stupid. So these things go right there and see... Oh, yeah. It says rocket packs. Yeah. That's so cheesy. I kind of like this figure better in package. So I guess the idea is like if he's sitting on the table, you're like this, and you're like, I gotta, ice to meet you. It's too bad I have to freeze away. Now, here's what scares me and what doesn't make sense. Why this dude who has to stay in this like temperature-controlled suit, why he would put anything that had flames come out of it, like jetpack flames, why would he wear that anywhere on his suit? It makes no sense. It does come from a bit in the movie, though, when he launches away, right? But is it from his feet? I don't know. That's dumb and ill thought. Just going to say. I actually like this figure way better in package, like I said, or just like that. That's all you need. I love the translucency. Well, I guess I'm glad I'm opening it up, but the Penguin figure for the win. Penguin is better and greater than Mr. Freeze. Maybe not as a character, but definitely as an action figure, as far as these go, right? So there you go. So I do have a Jack Nicholson Joker back there. I've got the Mr. Freeze. I got a Penguin. I do need to get a Bane, a Riddler. I do have that Two-Face loose somewhere. I think I have a Riddler, actually. Jim Carrey Riddler somewhere, too. And I need to get the Poison Ivy. And then I have them all. Oh, yeah, that's my favorite Penguin quote. First of all, that's a great one right there. You got to admit, I've played this stinking city like a heart from hell. My favorite Penguin quote from that movie is, could be worse. My nose could be gushing blood. And then, of course, what happens after that? I love opening up stuff. That was real fun. It was really cathartic. Anyway, before we wrap up, one more thing I want to show you. And that's this. Just got this. The Archie art of Francisco Francavilla. Y'all know I'm a huge Francisco Francavilla fan. Absolutely. And This art book with a lot of his cover art from Archie and things like that, some layouts, some process work from Afterlife with Archie. It's so cool. It's worth it. It's $24. It's a hardcover. It's labeled as Volume 1. Look at that inside cover. Gorgeous. Let's see if I can show you some cool pages. First of all, where are my Kiss fans at? So basically just reprints of some of his covers and stuff like that. But I'm a huge Francavilla fan. And I'm very excited to have this. I hope that Dynamite releases one. Let me find the Cthulhu bit. Because he drew an awesome Cthulhu in the Sabrina book. Y'all ready for this? Look at that. That's amazing. And there it is in black and white. He's seriously one of my favorite artists. And yes, the Black Beetle is amazing. I cannot wait until they do more. I want more of that so much. But that's what I got for you for show and tell. Aside from this also, I mentioned a couple weeks ago, that I had some Jurassic Park, the complete trading card set from the 90s, but I had misplaced it. Well, there they are right there. The whole thing. So I'll just pull out a few of them. Whoops, that first one dropped. I think that's a checklist or something. Just to give you an idea, because I love trading cards from back in the day. Y'all remember that one that killed Newman? I don't think that dinosaur actually exists. But these are all the dinosaur cards, and of course they have the characters. They got stickers. Do they have holograms in here? I haven't even fully gone through this thing, but it's the whole thing. Yeah, it comes with stickers too. There's like 11 sticker cards. It was done by Topps. I think they did the Jurassic Park comic book at the time. One of the scariest moments in cinema history. Cinema history. So the Yankees are still up 3-1. That's very exciting. And we're near wrap-up here. So if anybody's got any final thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, get them in right now. Right now. My biggest concern is how dumb this freeze ray thing is. Why couldn't it not just have an ice missile? What is this? Maybe at this point they were scared of kids swallowing it already, you know? Yeah, that's weak. That's weak as hell. That's stupid. That's so stupid. Jesus. It looks all right like this, but that's so... Ice to meet you. Chill. Oh, so bad. Anyway, I'm the proud owner of that one. Back in the day, I was convinced I was watching real dinosaurs in the original Jurassic Park. I can totally see that. Absolutely. We got some Jurassic Park fans. Dennis, our lives are in your hands, and you've got Butterfingers. Heck yeah, heck yeah! Jurassic Park is awesome. All right, we're about to wrap up, everybody. So let me go through real quick what we got coming up here on the channel. First of all, let me get rid of that damn Mr. Freeze figure. That's terrible. What's coming out from Image this week? Man, now I've lost it. Ascender is coming out this week, I know for sure. Man, we went through so many comics, I can't remember what else. But we talked about it in the video. I don't have that written down, though. But a lot of great comic books from Vault this week. So coming up this week, like I said already, Comics Revisited. That's right, The Authority. Me and Jelani talking about The Authority. Comics Revisited, that's this Thursday. If you're on Patreon, if you're one of our patrons, you already have access to it. So that's very, very exciting. Also, tomorrow morning, an advanced review of She Said Destroy number 4. She Said Destroy is one of but a few Vault comics that released this week. Fantastic work. I loved it. Love this issue. It's got some of Liana's best work I've ever seen. Very powerful, impactful artwork. Nalte's putting out some top-notch coloring. I'm loving the story. If you like She Said Destroy, no reason why you're not going to like the penultimate issue for number 4. So we got that tomorrow. We've got Comics Revisited coming out on Thursday. And of course, late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, the weekly comic book review. And then we got a brand new podcast debuting this week. Look forward around Wednesday Wednesday. I would say Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. 60s science fiction. We also have 2 PCP After Hours podcasts coming out for patron supporters. And right now we have a podcast available on YouTube. It's all about fantasy movies and stuff like that. Our top 5 favorite fantasy movies. Me, Hammer Time Holshoe, Brooks, and Drew were on that show. We recorded it last year, but it is now out on YouTube. So that does remind me that if you do want to get into our podcast, YouTube is way behind. So the most current up-to-date place to get the PCP podcast is on our website, popculturephilosophers.com, or on iTunes or other podcast services like that. So this week, we got 60 Sci-Fi. On the YouTube channel, we just released that fantasy podcast, Comics Revisited with Authority, and an advanced review of She Said Destroy, number 4, coming out tomorrow morning. So we got lots of excitement here on Pop Culture Philosophers. Once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. Please do hit that thumbs up button. Crush it. Let us know. Support the channel. I appreciate everybody over at Patreon. David, Alex, David, Adem, Tomorrow Cinnamon, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Joe, and Brian. Y'all help keep this dream alive. We really do appreciate everything, by the way. Thanks for joining us. There will not be a live stream next week. Taking the weekend off. I'm going to rest, recuperate, got some ideas, got some planning, got to get caught up on some things. Lots of excitement, though. We'll be back here very soon for another live stream, and lots of excitement coming out this week and in the future. More advanced reviews and things like that. So thank y'all so much for your support. We really do appreciate it. Hamburger Basket, I really do appreciate that donation tonight. I'll give you my Michael Bluth. Everybody be real, keep it live, and go Yankees, and keep on reading. We'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one.